So at the end of their lives, the $20 bill and the $1 bill, they met in purgatory, right? The $20 bill was so excited. He's like, I lived a great life. I went to Atlantic City. I went to Las Vegas. I made it to Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, everywhere. And the $1 bill was like, yeah, I had a pretty good life too. I went to the Protestant church, the Catholic church, the synagogue.
Welcome back to Cradle and Convert. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Weston. We join you here from Newman Reunion in the Newman basement at Platteville. This is a time of the year where we all get together, past students, current students, hopefully future students, and we just have a day of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had some lunch, played some games. Yeah. We're going to go have some drinks, play some cards. Good times as a Catholic community.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're back at St. Augustine's here at UW-Platteville. This is where we went to school. So this is the community that impacted us during our time in college, and especially our faith life and stuff. So today you get to hear more about from some of the students and from some of the campus ministers and stuff about just community and community here specifically and how it's affected them.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, community is such an important part in every Catholic's life. Without it, your willpower can only do so much. It all comes down to the environment that you're in.
You need or the power of your will of your mouth.
Power of the will of the mouth.
Power of the will of the mouth. Power of the will of the mouth.
Power of the will. You are snared by the words of your mouth.
Ooh.
Let's see what they have to say. So, we're here talking about community and how it's affected us. So, give us a little bit of your background.
Being in a Catholic environment my entire life, before I went to school, K through 8, high school, just showing up to college, it's different.
Okay.
It has to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Just, it forced me to ask a lot of the tough questions. And thankfully I found them here. But I found the answers here. But I found a community that enabled me to ask questions and to really seek what is true.
So you definitely feel comfortable coming to St. Augustine's here in Platteville and just going up to either the campus ministers, the focus missionaries, or even some students and just talking to them about your faith.
Yes. Unbelievably so. Father John has always been, he's got a bit of a quirky personality.
That's an understatement.
And yes, but I've never seen a man who's so reverent when he's saying the Mass, when he's doing real, legitimate liturgical things, and who can give you a real answer, but at the same time, go play volleyball with you, which we just did today. It's a lot of fun. Are I still a little red? We all a little red, aren't we?
Just a little.
Yes. Well.
How would you say that having a community around you really affected your spiritual journey?
Yeah, so I want to give a big shout out to the old one of the old focus ministers here, Steve Pyrokowski.
Hey, Steve.
I hope you see this, Steve. No individual person besides Father John, just the role he plays as a priest. It's hard to surpass that. But no individual person here at Platteville played a role in my life quite like Steve did. Steve got me to go on a mission trip. Steve entered me into discipleship, and even though I was the biggest pain in the, you're going to have to cut this word, just not wanting to go to discipleship, not really wanting to listen, he kept after me, and he kept trying to get me to go to stuff. And it's not like I stopped going to Mass or stopped going to Newman Dinner, free food, Newman Dinner every Wednesday night. I didn't stop going to that stuff, but getting me to go to adoration, getting me to say the rosary, getting me to do some of that extra stuff. Steve kept on me, even when I was just such a pain. And then getting me to go on the mission trip. I was a piece of work. And thankfully, with Steve's help, it turned around. And I'm really glad it did. And because of Steve and because of other people I met here at the Newman Center, through Steve, and the other people I met on my mission trip, and 2 of whom I'm still very good friends with. 3 of them I'm still very good friends with. It's really been a community of people I can lean on, and no matter where I go, I can always find them.
Sweet. Would you say that it was harder for you then to get more into a depth of faith? So versus kind of just getting into the faith, actually starting to understand it more and more by not having that community there? Because it sounds like there's not a real strong community there.
Yeah, so
That's-
I tried to do a
yeah.
little bit with them, but it wasn't a whole ton.
Okay.
Like, they didn't have as many events here. They didn't have a huge
They didn't really-
community. There
I mean-
was really nothing there.
Yeah, it was kind of showing up to mass.
I went to
and-
like 2 events with them, really, and that was it. It's
Right.
like,
Okay.
They didn't advertise as well as here. This one is so much better run. It's a community, actually.
Right. So I picked here at St. Augustine because of its reputation. I definitely came here.
St. Augustine's reputation or Platteville's reputation?
St. Augustine's actually. So my college choice went: is there a Newman Center, and then do they have my degree? Was the order of that, and Platteville lined up very nicely with that, with industrial engineering now. So
All right. So then, Tom, why did you say that you had to have a Newman Center when you were going somewhere?
because I think the most important thing is that you make friends with people who are around you. That's obvious until you think about it, right? You can't be friends with great people if there are not great people near enough to you to be friends with, right?
point.
So I definitely had to pick a spot that was going to not only be enjoyable but also kind of help you along. And I was far too aware of kind of what happens when you have to get put on an island. And it became even, I was here, not on an island when this happened, became really apparent when she was at Whitewater. And it was just like, it's a struggle when you're not doing it then. I think the most clear thing is a bunch of the guys lived in the dorms together from St. Augustine. And daily mass attendance for all of us went like through the roof as soon as you put us all in the same building. Why? Because you go around knocking on people's doors saying, hey, you're coming, hey, you're coming, hey, you're coming. Sweet.
Cool.
So you show up. So there's really a strength in numbers in that way. So I definitely wanted to pick a spot that I could trust.
Now, St. Augustine's just is having their dorms built. That's going to be ready this year.
She's living there.
Yeah,
You are living there.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
she's got a
That's
spot there.
awesome.
Yep.
That's so great. Would you say then that it would be excellent to have more people there, that you could just go, hey, dude, mass is right there. I can literally see it out my window.
Right.
Let's go to mass.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about this before, and that so she'll have to drive to Fenimore to go to class, about a 30-minute drive. We were just talking about like 6:30 mass becomes a way more attainable thing when it's outside, when it's right outside your door. So that is something that we can make it
It's out
happen.
in the rain and snow.
Yeah,
do it
no, not
outside.
that. No. Yeah. Not known for my clarity in language, but no, but it's a lot easier
right
when
there,
when you're right there.
And then when it's like you don't go, it's like, oh, it's like right there. Like, so easy to
Right,
know.
yeah, you see it, definitely.
Jesus is going to sneak up on you. He's going to find you. He will catch you.
Went to school at the University of Illinois, was involved in the Newman Center they have there, which is a great community. There's a lot of life in it. And then worked for Focus for the past 2 years.
Cool.
And through Focus, got sent to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Here I am, now as the campus ministry director there.
So what made you actually get interested in the Newman community at the university you were at?
Yeah, so I was very blessed that conversion, reversion, whatever you want to call it, happened mid-high school. Actually through a particular friend. We just became friends naturally, and she started inviting me to go to the youth group that was at the parish that I was at. And I know tonight's on community. It was actually a very poor community. They had a lot going on, but they weren't very welcoming. So it was just through her, through my relationship with her, that started getting invited to go to things, and just really like wanted to know my heart and wanted me to know the Lord. So through her is how I got back into my faith, and then whenever I went into college, I wanted to find good community because my friends in high school, separate from that one particular person, were just starting to live more and more the partier lifestyle. So wanted to find good people who weren't necessarily headed in that direction.
And so, Nathaniel, you were actually a part of the Newman community before you went to seminary, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. So how would you say that impacted the decision that you made to go to seminary?
It had a very high influence on my decision. Students that actually cared about my holiness, cared about me as a person, and like, hey, we want you to go to mass. Like, they would ask me, are you going to go to mass? Do you want to come to mass? Do you want to go to adoration? Do you want to go say the rosary? Do you want to go have lunch or dinner or whatever? And so just building this community of virtuous friendships and people that actually wanted me to live a life holier sparked a change in my life to want to actually like live this out. Like, there is something more here than just a bunch of list of rules or whatever. Like, this is a way of life. So
That's awesome. So you guys both have big impacts, and you both have talked about how community affected your life. Does that make an impact on how you're actually leading Newman? Because Haley, you're actually the director of the campus ministries here. So, what's kind of your vision for the Newman Center?
Good question. I
ask all the good questions.
I feel like it's always a work in progress. Vision for the Newman Center. So my vision for the Newman Center, actually right now I've been thinking a lot about the apostles. And so I was reading this book, I think, and they were talking about...
You were thinking about reading a book. I like it.
Yes. Sometimes I do that. No. I think I got it from a book is what I mean.
Okay.
And they were talking about whenever Jesus had already ascended into heaven and the apostles just like hung out at this particular gate, I don't remember which one it was, into the temple. And this was like their spot. They just spent all this kind of time there. And they were still doing evangelization. They were still like going around healing people, teaching and preaching, but they gathered consistently here for quite a while, it would seem, kind of get from scripture before they all got sent out throughout the world. So thinking about the importance of this, right? The importance of community. The fact that, I think we've all experienced moments whenever maybe it's the summer, maybe it's just a winter break, maybe it's consistently throughout your life. If you've left college and entered a new parish, whenever you feel very alone, whenever you feel like no one else is living the faith, and where do I go from there? Like, what do I do whenever it's just me? Whenever it feels like it's me versus culture, trying to not be me against my brothers and sisters, but me for my brothers and sisters who are just being very infiltrated by culture. So I would say the vision for the Newman Center is to be like that place that the apostles had at the gate, right? Not the place to get stuck at where we just like stay within these walls and never leave, and not the place to be, it's me against the students on campus, right? But it's us gathering together to have fellowship and friendship so we can be revitalized to go out on campus. And whenever someone rejects you, it's like, well, I can pray for you with love, and I know that there are other people who have my back who aren't rejecting what I have to say. So
that's awesome.
That would be the vision.
That is a fantastic vision for the Newman Center, and I know the Newman Center had such a big impact on me through Andrew, who's actually currently behind the camera right now recording, and having seen not only Focus but campus ministry working together and being a part of that team eventually that pulls it all together, I think is just a wonderful experience, and I appreciate both of you for actually picking up that torch and going through it. Now, how excited are you guys about the dorms and the possibility of getting a new Newman Center and a new church coming?
Yeah, having been here prior to all this happening, for me, it's having been a part of it and then not being a part of it for a while and then being a part of it again it's really exciting because, obviously communities grow, and so it's really exciting to see a community grow and realize like we're actually like making progress and the Lord is blessing our work. It's not like we're just toiling and it's like God's not answering. It's we're doing everything we possibly can because we care about these students and we're going to give them the best program. And so seeing the door, seeing the possibility of actually having some sort of Christian community living together, whether it's Catholics or whatever, and then the possibility of having a bigger Newman Center, even a bigger chapel, and even the chapel separate from the Newman Center, because the chapel is part of the Newman Center right now, will be great because you have that silence and prayer, and so yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Having gotten to live in a Newman Center that had a dormitory attached, this one's a little bit different with apartments, but similar feel. It was such a gift to be able to have just Jesus basically as your next door neighbor. So lucky, so blessed.
That's awesome.
So what a gift that was, and what a gift it was to, not just like come and go throughout the day at Newman, but this is your home, right? And for a lot of students, this already does feel like their home, but imagine if their like bedroom is next door, and they get to live and breathe and build like all around 24/7 community with the people who are also living at Newman. So very excited.
Awesome.
I think it's going to be a great asset to this Newman Center.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for being on with us. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate the work that you guys have done. For those of you that are watching and know somebody with a decent chunk of change, this is a fantastic place to give to. They're looking to build a brand new church. They actually have to fundraise their own salaries, so if you actually want to donate to them or the other campus ministers, you can actually go on to the website, which is
pioneercatholic.org.
and you can look at their profiles and check it out.
So I hope you had a good time learning more about the community here. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Comment, but most importantly of all,
Pray.